My parents canceled my Black Friday order to afford my sister's spa trip, so I ghosted them completely. Now they want back in? But I've changed. I'm a 20-year-old guy, and I've always known deep down that I wasn't the favorite. I was the backup plan, the understanding one. The son who didn't need much, who could deal with disappointment quietly while my older sister, Lila, got to shine in full color. When I was 7, my birthday cake was a grocery store cupcake. Lila's party that same year had a rented unicorn pony and a cotton candy machine. I remember clapping for her while holding my little cupcake, thinking maybe if I clapped louder, they'd notice I existed too. They didn't. Lila got her first phone at 12. I didn't get one until I was 17, and it was a hand-me-down with a cracked screen. I was told, "Boys don't need much." That line, "boys don't need much," was repeated like gospel in our house. But I needed something. Not even luxury, just fairness. A laptop for college classes, a tool to start freelance design work. I had saved for months from my fast food job, counting every shift like a countdown to freedom. And Black Friday? That was supposed to be my moment. The one time I could afford the exact model, I'd been eyeing for months, one with enough RAM to handle my design software without crashing every 10 minutes. I remember the excitement vibrating in my chest as I finalized the order. I even asked my parents politely if I could use their credit card temporarily, since mine had limits, and I'd send them the money instantly. They said yes with those hollow smiles they always reserved for when Lila wasn't in the room. For once, I thought I was allowed to want something. For once, I thought maybe they were seeing me. I didn't know that behind my back, a completely different plan was already in motion. I didn't grow up dreaming of luxury. I just wanted independence. That laptop wasn't a toy, it was a door. A way out. A way to finally stop depending on broken school computers and start building something of my own. I had been working double shifts at a local burger joint and tutoring high school kids on weekends just to save up. Every greasy fry I flipped, every headache from teaching algebra to a kid who didn't care, it was all leading up to that Black Friday deal. The laptop was marked down by 40%. The specs were perfect. I had it bookmarked for weeks, alarms set on my phone. I even told my manager I'd need a break mid-shift just to place the order when the deal went live. But I didn't have a credit card that could handle the full amount. So I sat down with my parents at the dinner table, Lila wasn't home, and explained my plan. I had the money in full, ready to send over the moment the purchase cleared. My mom looked tired, my dad looked indifferent, but they both nodded. "Just make sure you send it back immediately," Dad said, without even looking up from his phone. I remember feeling proud, like maybe I was finally being treated like an adult, like they were finally going to support my future, the way they supported Lila's every whim. That night, I stayed up to make sure I didn't miss the exact time the sale started. I clicked Buy Now, filled in my parents' info, and sat back as the confirmation page loaded. It was done. I went to sleep thinking, this is the first thing I've ever done for me without apology. And when I woke up the next morning, everything had already fallen apart. I woke up to a single notification. "Your order has been canceled." At first, I thought it was a glitch. Maybe the payment didn't go through. My heart pounded as I checked the email again. Then I opened my bank app and my stomach sank. The refund had already been processed. The money I had sent to my parents? Gone, not pending. Not held. Gone. I stumbled into the kitchen, still holding my phone. My mom was making tea like it was any other morning. I asked, "Did you cancel the order?" She didn't even flinch. "Yeah, we needed that money." I blinked, waiting for some kind of explanation. "For what?" I asked slowly. My dad, sitting on the couch in his old sweatpants, muttered without looking up from the TV. "It went to something more important." I felt like I'd been slapped. My voice cracked when I said, "More important than my future?" My mom finally looked at me. Not with guilt, with annoyance. Lila needed a break. She's been so stressed. We booked her a spa trip, 3 days, full service. You know how hard she's been working. I couldn't breathe. I literally felt my lungs lock up. Lila had been working hard? She made Instagram videos about skincare and healing crystals. I was busting my back in 2 jobs while attending online classes, using computers that crashed if I opened more than 2 tabs. That laptop was the one thing I had worked for, dreamed about, planned meticulously. And they took it from me like it was spare change on the counter. No apology, no shame, just a calm morning and a cup of tea. That was the first time I realized. They never planned to let me have it. I stood in that kitchen like a ghost, holding the edge of the counter so I wouldn't shake. The betrayal wasn't just the money, it was how casual they were about it. My mom sipped her tea and said, "Lila's been under so much pressure lately. Her mental health comes first." I stared at her, hoping she'd see the insanity of what she was saying. "She needed this trip, sweetie. We'll figure out your laptop later. Later, always later for me. Later for birthdays. Later for clothes that fit. Later for things that actually mattered. Why did you even agree to help me if you were going to steal the money?" I asked. "Watch your tone," my dad snapped from the couch. "Steal?" My mom repeated, eyebrows raised. "You're being dramatic over some tech junk. You're a guy. You don't need stuff like that to be okay." There it was again. That quiet but constant belief that because I was the boy in the family, my needs were optional, that I was just supposed to endure. I felt heat rising in my face. Not just from rage, but shame. For even thinking, for 1 second, that I'd finally earned a win in this house. That night, Lila posted a photo on Instagram from her spa suite. Champagne in hand. Fluffy robe. Caption: "Manifesting luxury because I deserve it." And the worst part? She didn't even know or care what it cost. I tried not to check her feed. I really did. But it was like watching someone dance on your grave while calling it a performance. There she was, Lila, lounging in a candle-lit spa suite, surrounded by gold-trimmed mirrors and a tray of chocolate-dipped strawberries. Her caption hit like a punch in the gut. "Manifesting luxury because I deserve it. Triumph self-care queen." I just sat there in the dark, staring at my cracked phone screen in disbelief. That post got over 10,000 likes, comment after comment praising her for living her best life and setting boundaries. Meanwhile, I was sitting on a mattress on the floor, borrowing a roommate's Chromebook to finish assignments that were already late because of tech issues. I hadn't slept properly in 2 nights. I'd canceled a tutoring session that day because I had nothing to work on. I broke. I sent her a DM, just 4 words. Hope it was worth it. She replied within minutes. "Well, get over it. You'll live, no remorse. No curiosity about how I was doing. Not even confusion about why I might be upset. Just cold entitlement." And in that moment, something shifted in me. Not anger, clarity. I realized I wasn't just unwanted in this family. I was disposable. They had made it clear. My sacrifices were expected. My wins were optional, and now that I had nothing left to give, I was just background noise. That was the night I stopped waiting for fairness. I wasn't going to fight. I wasn't going to beg. I was just going to disappear. The next morning, I woke up with a strange kind of calm. Not anger. Not sadness. Just stillness. Like something inside me had gone quiet for good. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't post about it. I just started packing. My clothes, my hard drive, my savings, a few keepsakes. I left my posters on the wall and my toothbrush in the bathroom. It needed to look like I might come back. I knew if I made a scene, they'd twist it. They always did. I paid for a cheap room in a shared dorm across town. It wasn't much. Tiny bed, peeling paint, shared bathroom, but it felt like mine. My roommate, a guy named Chris, asked if I was running from a breakup. I laughed and said, "Something like that." The truth was, yeah, I was a breakup from my own family. I blocked them all, numbers, socials, everything. I changed my email, got a prepaid SIM, even deleted old messages so I wouldn't reread them and cave. The silence afterward was terrifying at first. No one asking where I was. No guilt texts. No chores waiting. But within days, that silence started to feel like oxygen. For the first time in years, I could breathe without bracing for judgment. I made instant noodles at midnight and played music without someone telling me to turn it down. I started sketching again, something I hadn't done since high school because my dad called it a waste of time. I didn't need their permission anymore. I didn't need their fake love. They thought I'd vanished to punish them. But I didn't leave for revenge. I left to finally exist. The first few weeks on my own were rough. Freedom wasn't the movie version I'd imagined. It was cold noodles, long nights, and a constant hum of fear in the back of my mind. But every challenge came with this quiet satisfaction. No one could take it away this time. I found a routine fast. Mornings were for online classes, afternoons for tutoring gigs, and nights for freelance design work on borrowed equipment. It wasn't glamorous, but it was survival, and I loved it. Sometimes I'd catch myself glancing at the door, expecting to hear my mom's voice calling me lazy or my dad asking for a favor. But the door stayed silent. That silence used to feel lonely. Now it felt sacred. Chris, my roommate, started noticing the difference. "Man, you smile more now," he said one night as we ate ramen on the floor. "Yeah," I said quietly. "Guess peace looks good on me." The little things meant the most. Doing laundry when I wanted, spending money without guilt, sleeping through the night without tension in my chest. I started building a small client list online. My first real paycheck felt surreal. I stared at the payment notification for minutes, my eyes burning. It wasn't much, but it was mine. Sometimes, though, I'd scroll through Lila's page. It was all the same. Luxury hauls, filtered smiles, captions about abundance. But what used to trigger me now just made me sad. They had their world, and I had mine. And for the first time ever, I didn't want to trade places. Still, I had no idea how quickly my peace was about to be shattered. It happened on a Tuesday night. I was halfway through a design project when a friend texted me a screenshot with the message, "Dude, what's going on with your sister?" At first, I thought it was drama between her and her influencer friends again. But when I clicked the link, my stomach flipped. It was Lila, crying on Facebook Live. Mascara streaks down her face, fake lashes half detached, voice trembling as she sobbed to thousands of viewers. "She just left us," she sniffled. "My brother, he abandoned the family. He doesn't talk to us. We don't even know if he's okay. He broke Mom's heart. I just want him home for Christmas." The comments were a flood of sympathy. "Aw, stay strong, Queen." Some people don't appreciate family until it's too late. Men are so cold-hearted. And then I saw my parents' names in the comments, both of them chiming in like grieving saints. My mom wrote, "We're praying he'll come back to his senses." My dad added, "We love you, son. We just want to talk." I felt sick. They were painting me as a selfish runaway when they were the ones who pushed me out. They'd turned my escape into their victim narrative. My phone started buzzing with messages from relatives and old classmates, everyone suddenly curious. Everyone guilt-tripping me for hurting my poor parents. They didn't miss me. They missed the control. They wanted the obedient version of me, the one who stayed quiet and said yes to everything. I closed the app, deleted Facebook altogether, and sat in silence. I thought I'd escaped the chaos. But now they'd found a way to drag me back into it, publicly. After that Facebook stunt, everything changed. My phone lit up nonstop. Unknown numbers, old family friends, even a cousin I hadn't spoken to in years. Everyone had the same tone, that passive-aggressive mix of guilt and gossip. "Your mom's worried sick. Your dad said you've gone off the rails. Just call them. They're your parents." It was like being hunted by nostalgia weaponized as obligation. Then came the emails. The first one from my mom had the subject line, "Come home. We miss you." The body of the message read like a bad Hallmark card. "Family is forever. We can start fresh. Don't let pride ruin us." My dad's text was shorter. "Time to stop being dramatic. You made your point." I didn't reply to either. Then Lila joined in. She posted another story, this one with an inspirational quote about forgiving toxic men, and tagged me directly. Thousands of people saw it. I could almost hear her smug voice saying, "Now you're the problem. They weren't reaching out to make peace, they were performing it." They wanted to look like the loving family trying to rescue their troubled son. Meanwhile, I was sitting in my small dorm, eating cold noodles and staring at my half-broken keyboard, wondering how people could twist reality so effortlessly. I drafted a reply a dozen times. Something sharp, something final. But I deleted every version. Because I realized something simple but freeing. They couldn't reach me unless I opened the door. And for once, I wasn't going to. Still, I knew my silence would only make them louder, and I was right. Weeks passed. I stayed quiet, and that silence drove them insane. At first, they tried to play it sweet. More emails from my mom, paragraphs about turning a new leaf, offers to reimburse me if I came home for a visit. She even attached a photo of our old family dog, trying to reel me in with nostalgia. I ignored it all. Then came the shift. One night, my roommate Chris knocked on my door and said, some couple came looking for you? My heart sank. They said they were your parents. I didn't tell them anything, man. They had come to my campus, unannounced. No call, no warning. Just showing up like I was a missing child. The next morning, I found a folded note slipped under our door. We raised you. Family is everything. You don't get to erase us. It was written in my dad's blocky, all-caps handwriting. The same way he used to write passive-aggressive chore lists on the fridge. I remember staring at that paper for a long time. Not out of fear, out of disappointment. They weren't coming to apologize. They were coming to reclaim me, like I was something they owned, something that had wandered too far and needed to be dragged back. I threw the note in the trash. The visits didn't stop. They started leaving voicemails, my mom crying, my dad demanding, Lila sarcastically saying, "Must be nice to ghost your own blood." Each message was more manipulative than the last, and yet, some part of me stayed solid, because for the first time in my life, I wasn't the one begging to be seen. I thought they couldn't surprise me anymore. But then Lila's face showed up on my For You page, and this time, it wasn't curated perfection. It was a full-blown meltdown. No filters. No fake tears. Just rage. She was live streaming from her room, pacing back and forth in an expensive robe, shouting at her phone like it had personally betrayed her. "This is cancel culture," she screamed. "I made one joke and now I'm problematic? Are you kidding me?" I watched, stunned. Turns out, someone had dug up old tweets and Instagram posts, screenshots of her mocking retail workers, complaining about ugly people at the mall, and worst of all, one from her spa trip that said, "Can't believe peasants work holidays." I'd literally cry. People weren't having it. Her sponsors dropped her. Her followers turned on her. Even TikTok comment sections were eating her alive. She spiraled. Blamed haters, blamed cancel culture, and eventually blamed me. I got a DM that night. "You planned this." "I know you did." "You're fucking jealous." I stared at the message in disbelief. Jealous of what? Her burned reputation? Her fake friends? She had built her life on entitlement and edited photos, and now that the mask had slipped, she was clawing for someone to blame. I didn't respond, but deep down I felt it. A sick kind of relief. Not because she was suffering, but because the world finally saw the version of her I had always known. And yet, I should have known my family would try to pull me back into the fire, this time as their damage control. The next morning, my inbox was full. 1 from my mom, 2 from my dad, 5 from Lila, each one a different flavor of desperation. "Please talk to her," my mom wrote. "This could ruin everything she's built." "She's your sister." I sat there blinking at the screen like it was in another language. My dad's message was worse, blunt. "Be the man. Help clean this up. You know how PR works." That one made me laugh out loud, like I was her personal crisis team. Like the same people who stole from me, silenced me, erased me, now expected me to repair their mess. Lila's messages were unhinged. First, angry. "This is your fault. You've always hated me." Then pitiful. "Please, just make one post. Say I'm a good person." "You owe me." "Owe her? For what? Mocking me?" Watching our parents crush every one of my wins while celebrating her bare minimum, stealing the one thing I had saved for and calling it just tech junk. I typed one sentence and sent it to the family group chat. No greeting. No sign-off. Just, "You picked your star. Let her shine through this too." No one replied. The silence afterward was deafening and delicious. I wasn't gloating. I wasn't celebrating her downfall. But for once, I wasn't the one left bleeding while everyone else clapped. For the first time, they had to sit in their own mess without a scapegoat. And it turns out, they had no idea how to survive without one. After that message, I expected to feel cold, or maybe guilty. Instead, I felt something click, like a knot in my chest finally came undone. I wasn't angry anymore. I was free. It's strange how sometimes hitting emotional rock bottom doesn't crush you. It clarifies you. For years, I'd been chasing approval from people who only saw me when I was useful. For once, I saw them clearly too. That clarity became fuel. I started writing. Not just sketching or freelancing, writing. I put everything into a blog post. Not names, not specifics, but the story. My story. What it felt like to grow up invisible. To be the quiet one, the understanding one, the boy who was told to be strong while everyone else got to be soft. I published it anonymously. Just a black background and white text. No design, no logo. Just truth. It exploded. People started sharing it, commenting, messaging. Strangers told me it felt like I had read their minds. One guy said, "I thought I was the only one who grew up like this." A woman wrote, "I sent this to my therapist. I wasn't just healing, I was helping." And that did something for me no apology from my family ever could. My pain had value. My silence had become a voice. I didn't need them to say sorry. I didn't even need them to see me anymore, because now, other people did. And better yet, I saw myself. It happened on a random Tuesday. I was walking home from class, scrolling through my phone, when I saw it, the laptop I had wanted. The laptop. Same spec, same model, different seller, it was on sale again. Not a Black Friday miracle, just a clearance drop. And this time I didn't need anyone's permission. No borrowed credit cards. No hollow promises. Just my money. From my work. I tapped buy now with no hesitation. When it arrived, I didn't tear the box open. I sat with it for a while. Just stared at it, like it was an artifact from a life that never fully broke me. Then I filmed a short video. Not for followers. Not for validation. Just for me. An unboxing, simple and raw. Caption, paid in full. No guilt attached. I posted it to the same blog. The comments flooded in. People cried. A few said they were going to buy their own laptop, whatever that meant to them, something they'd always been denied. It wasn't about the device anymore. It was about the choice, the ownership. I had taken back the part of me they tried to erase, the part that believed I was worth investing in. Later that night, I got a message from my dad. Just 5 words, "This is petty. You won, he still didn't get it." This wasn't about winning. It was about finally living on terms that didn't require me to shrink. They took the first laptop from me. But this one? This one was mine. In every way that mattered, the messages slowed, but they never really stopped. Birthdays, holidays, random Tuesdays. They came like clockwork, text bubbles from ghosts I no longer believed in. My mom tried a new tactic, kindness. "We miss you. Come by for dinner. Dad bought your favorite snacks. Lila's doing better. Let's talk." There was a time when those messages would have broken me, when I would have read them 100 times searching for sincerity between the lines, but not anymore. Now I saw them for what they were, fishing lines, bait, hooks dipped in sentimentality. I didn't reply. They tried getting to me through extended family. My aunt called. My cousin messaged me on Instagram. One even commented under a post on my blog, "Family is everything. Don't throw yours away." But what none of them understood was, I didn't throw my family away. I walked away from the people who treated me like a utility. I walked toward peace. Toward me, some people call it petty. Others call it dramatic. But I call it healing. It's not easy to go no contact. Every day I have to fight the old instincts, the urge to explain, to prove, to soften, but I don't. Because I finally understand that peace isn't passive. It's protected. I have new boundaries now. Not walls, doors. Doors with locks. Doors I control. And the people on the other side? They made their choice a long time ago. They keep knocking. But I'm not opening. Not because I hate them, but because I finally love myself enough to stay closed. I used to lie awake at night wondering if I'd done the right thing. If walking away meant I was heartless, ungrateful, broken. But now, I don't regret leaving. I only regret not doing it sooner. They taught me early on that love had conditions. That I was easier to love when I was silent, when I was useful, when I didn't ask for too much. I believed them for a long time. Thought maybe if I worked harder, smiled more, earned better grades, they'd finally see me. But they didn't. Not really. And maybe they never will. And I've made peace with that. Because I've built a new life now, quiet, small, but mine. I still live in that modest dorm. I still eat too many noodles. But I wake up without dread. I create things that matter to me. I'm surrounded by people, real ones, who see me, not just what I can do for them. I've learned that healing isn't a clean arc. Some days I still get flashbacks. Some nights I still hear their voices in my head. But I don't believe them anymore. Now, I believe me. I believe the boy who cried silently after losing his laptop. The young man who packed his bags without a word. The adult who chose dignity over acceptance. And if you're someone reading this, wondering if it's okay to leave people who hurt you, even if they're family, here's my answer. You're not wrong for walking away. You're not weak for choosing peace, and you're not selfish for finally putting yourself first. They picked Lila. They picked luxury. I picked me, and I've never looked back.